What a saga this has been.
It's RV inspection day. Shh, everyone is still sleeping. It's 4:30 in the morning. It's Yuma, Arizona, and we are heading to the inspection. We will see you there. Okay, we made it to the location, so come on in here. Let's check out this Newmar Dutch Star. It's a 2014 4018. Now remember, we're gonna update you at lunchtime and the end of the day, so stick around. You're going to want to see if we found anything.
So 4018, Newmar. So last night we were here, and knowing we were coming here in the morning, we had a couple of hours to spare last night, so I figured, all right, let's do fluid sample. So we did the generator, we did the engine oil, and the transmission oil. Then I had time to take a quick glimpse, because that's who I am, and I'm already into the mode of, okay, I gotta inspect this, but I'm back the next day. But the first thing I did last night was having this coming in. It already gave me a good sign. I mean, you take a look at the alignment, the front end says, okay, well, we'll see how that goes. But then you end up here, and the seller was in here. And when we push this in, that's my first reaction is, holy geez, this is sitting directly on the floor. The trim is sitting right in the, to the point where he even pushed it in yesterday. So, you know, it's just plastic. Just plastic. This can't even go in. This is totally laying on the door frame. Even this door will actually rub on this. Well, actually, you can't even open it. So, just to look here in the back, just to give you an idea, these little trim that they put on every Newmar, see, this one is, it broke totally. So it's not only pinching, it broke. And if you look at the paint, that's one thing. If you got a Newmar, just check on those. You'll see you're out of whack the minute you part. Keep an eye on those, so that will give you an idea of where you're at with the settling of your slide outs. The potential buyer, our customer, is actually an aircraft inspector, and he's also testing for airworthiness. So like me, even if I flew a Citation 500, I don't know how the 24-volt system works inside the airplane. I can fly the plane, I can figure it out, it's not an issue. But I would call him to know about the 24-volt system because I don't know it. Same as Jeff said this is, I don't know nothing about RVs. Talk to me about an airplane, that makes sense, but an RV doesn't. So that's why we're a little bit at each other like this and thinking, okay, I know what he's looking for and he knows what I'm searching for. This slide out, for instance, this slide out jerks when it comes in, when it comes out. That's what it does. And you feel the motor is struggling to try to push this in. All right, did a couple of these. Did a couple of research. There could be a couple of different options. If it's the rolls that you need to change to get it smoother, or the voltage that's not high enough. So there's a lot of potential issues that can relate to this. So we'll go through this process and I'll try to figure it out. But I cannot give this airworthiness if I already have this resolved that I can see as a problem. So for me, it's like having Jeff, who inspects an airplane, and say, well, you know, the elevator, which is up and down, or the rudder, it is okay, but it's jerking a little bit when you're using it, but it's airworthy. I understand, guys, this is not an airplane, but it's the same principle. If it's doing this, there's an issue. So it's not WD-40 that's gonna fix it. And by the way, this just been serviced last week before we came here on purpose because there was some squealing coming in and out of this. And I remember when we FaceTime, the potential buyer was here and he was saying, you make sure to check this. And they serviced it, and we still have an issue. How much do they know how to service it? I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Let's see you at lunchtime, what this holds up for a surprise. All right, lunchtime. So here's the synopsis of what's been happening. So the customer had this bra on there, And he was adamant yesterday of leaving it on. And I know because he took off the blue shield, whatever that's on there. So there's still sticky stuff. He finally told me, well, yeah, well, that's why I have sticky stuff. Okay, and that's fine. You know, somebody can take care of that. There's a couple of rocks that went into the front grille, normal wear and tear. Here, I have fiberglass that's been added here. So, you know, rinky-dink fixing. I understand why he was hiding it. It kind of makes sense. The other thing I did when I come up, I always check my power. What kind of power do I have? So to make sure that my 50 amp have 2 legs and I have enough voltage in there. This is the plug itself, the 50 amp plug. And this, for me, becomes life safety because as you can see, we got the pictures. It's cracked. It's been through the weather. It's normal, it's 10 years old. So things like this happen, so you need to change the plug. In my book, that's my recommendation. Then we're gonna end up in this rear slide. As you may see, this rear slide is slouching down in the front, so it's slouching, it's lazy, it stayed down on the front here. Then, well, let's go to the back. Here in the back, customer stated that everything is pristine on this, everything is fantastic, there's no issues, and that's why I think they're asking big bucks. Well, they should have sold to somebody who didn't get an inspection to skip a lot of things that we find. It's like this ladder. He told me yesterday, he said, oh, feel free to go up there, but use this one to get there. Well, if I use this one to get there, I wouldn't even dare go on there. So I actually took my regular ladder, spread it up there, walked on there. So now, as you can see, we have an issue, big time, with the skylight. You can see how it's cracked, how it's weathered, how it was patched with not much self-leveling. That was a dedicated tube to try to figure out the crap, and it did absolutely not much. Hopefully they'll be able to redo this because we even sneaked inside the unit and try to find readings. Laurel even told me they're staying inside the bathroom. So that took another extensive, probably another more hour or so to figure out. And we even took the cover from the inside to see if we can find rotten plywood or something, which we didn't. So it's kind of this thing where you're in Arizona, humidity is minus 50, it's dry, and it's inside all the time. And if they go traveling, like they went to Colorado at one point, but if they didn't get much water and they come back here, that water fades, it evaporates, and it didn't have time to do mold. Let's go to the other side. As you remember here this morning, the first glimpse was about this slide out. So as you can see, we have a lot of problem. From a mechanic came here to do the maintenance. I don't know what he did from the time that we FaceTime together, and the squealing, it's still squealing, it's still sagged down, and it was going to be greased. Well, I don't know where they put grease, but probably in his pocket or in his glove, I don't know, but he definitely didn't lay any grease nowhere on no components of this. But hey, I don't know, maybe he just charged something for the visit. Maybe it was just a house call. So I don't know. And meanwhile, let's go check what Laurel had to see inside.
So it's lunchtime for us. Well, it's breakfast for everybody in Yuma, but it is definitely lunchtime for us. So we have been inside this beautiful unit, which, as you can see, it's kind of dim and dark, even with the lights on, because we're inside a garage. So what's nice is that when Pierre opened up the garage door, it gave me some actual natural light. I had already done my ceilings, and I missed some stains because I didn't have natural light. We also had 3 chips on the windshield that we were able to see once we had the natural light. So that made me go through my ceilings once again, and I had to take a flashlight because there was no natural light coming into the back of the coach. So coming in here, I'll start here. First of all, we have a cracked trim right here. If you can see over here, honey, I'm not sure if you can get this. If you can see this pretty closely, it's cracked. And I just want to show you this on the way into the bathroom. So in the bathroom, we came in here, and I have got real yellow all around the whole entire ceiling in the bathroom. This is the master bathroom ceiling, just above the shower. And there's a lot of staining, but I'm not getting any moisture readings. And then if we go inside the shower, same thing. This is the corner. Bathroom. let's show some more trim. Come around the side here. Let's show some more trim. So coming down here into the base, you can see that this is all lifted here. And then coming around into the bathroom, this is off also. Now I'm not getting any moisture readings at all whatsoever. All right, so we're gonna go back up into the cockpit area. Right over here. Okay, so this door, as you can see, it does not stay up. Is that a deal breaker? No, of course they're gonna fix it, but it's definitely something that I need to show my customer, which I have, because she's been with us all day long, which has been fantastic because she's been able to see everything that we're seeing firsthand. Now, I usually talk about my stow and go, right? So let's show you what would be stow and go inside this unit. When these slides come in, they come in very tight. The only access you have is right here to this bathroom. So is the stow and go really ideal? Not really, because they can't get to the bed, but they can actually cook. So if they're stopped somewhere, they'd have to actually open up the slide to the bed. So it's a half of a stow and go. If you guys enjoy our videos, we would love it if you'd hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and leave us a comment. If you don't know what to comment, just comment C4BO. Comment for Blue Ox. And don't forget, ring that notification bell so you'll be notified when our next video comes out.
All right, end of the day recap. We're done with this beast. It was a long day because a lot of findings. And by the way, for those who comment that we must be gifted because we find the obvious. Yeah, it's obvious when I give you everything I found that now you know where it's at. So this, we had a couple of issues mechanically. All right, so I'm gonna take my phone light. But just to give you an idea, this is called a main bearing. You see the leak in here. From underneath, I went there, and that's what we call a main bearing leaking. The other thing that I inspected, I found, is also this belt. So this is the fan belt, no big deal, but you can see that it's all shaved, it's all gone. So that's about going to explode. So you're not gonna go far with this, you better have a spare one. The advantage of those rear engine is exactly this, is that you can actually fix it yourself if you're handy, because this one is an easy one. The other mechanical thing that I have that I found on this, because that was my afternoon crawling underneath this, is the power steering pump. So power steering pump on this 2014 actually leaks. Your arms that are powering your steering is actually, this pump is in the middle of your coach. And this pump attaches those two tie rod ends that goes to your wheel and makes you turn. When this starts leaking, a couple of drips on the driveway or whatever, the problem that you have with this is this pin, when it starts leaking, is because the shaft is starting to move. That's why those seals break and they start leaking. When it starts to move, you're going to lose hydraulic fluid, you're going to lose a lot of hydraulic fluid, you're going to stain your floor, and who knows, it might become a play in the driving of your unit. So that's going to be affecting your driving capacity. Overall, it's a solid unit. There's just some things that they're going to have to address and figure if it's going to be worth it. On that note, let's go see what Laurel found inside.
So it's the end of the day, and let's recap what I found today. So coming over here, we have missing sealant in the sink, but then I'm touching this. This should not be like that. The other thing, this is the half bath, and in the half bath, the sink does not hold water. Now, when we go clear in the back to the shower, the back shower, the door, it comes off its hinge. So every time I close the door on the left side, it slides nice. On the right side, it comes off the hinge. As you can see, you can look directly into the shower. But did it leak? No. Did I have any water leaks today? No, none at all whatsoever. Then I did a load of laundry and I did the dryer. The dryer is not attached at all. Like I can move the dryer any which way I want. It's not attached. So that dryer is not hooked in, as you can see. I can just move it with my hands. It's not attached. So that definitely needs to be attached. The other thing, I was doing the TVs, the televator, the top of the televator, it's not hooked on properly. It's very loose and wiggly. And as far as the windows, I have a couple of shades that do not retract by themselves, and they are dusty and a little bit dirty. Okay, so they need to be washed. These are the things that I have found today. The buyer has been with us all day long, so it's been kind of nice. She's been able to see everything firsthand on what we're finding today, which is kind of unusual. This doesn't usually happen for us. So I've got a surprise. I'm going to have you come with me.
Enjoy yourselves.
Here's our surprise. We have our customer Karen with us today. Karen, we would love for you to tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, my husband's a pilot, and we decided this year that he was retiring, and we want to travel for the next 4 or 5 years full time in an RV. We've gone and looked all over the country for the perfect RV. Flown to a few different places to see, and unfortunately, just from visual inspection that we did, we were turned off by several. We came to Arizona and we found this Dutch Star we were told it's garage kept and it's in pristine condition. It is more expensive than we wanted to pay, but we thought for pristine condition, let's take a look. My husband's used to inspecting airplanes, but not motorhomes. And the most important thing to us is the safety and no surprises. So we asked Pierre and Laurel to come out and help us take a look at what we thought or think is a pristine motorhome. And we'll see what the report says. And this may be our new home.
Thank you so much, Karen, and we're so happy that you chose us, and then we got to come out here and meet you, which is the best part, is making new friends.
It was great meeting you too.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just got back to my hotel in Yuma, Arizona, and here's my report. I already got it. So I brought it up here on the big hotel TV, and I'm gonna look at my inspection report. This is a big report. See all the dollar signs that my beautiful Dutch Star needs. So now I can see with this report, it's giving me a tool to go to the seller and say, okay, this was presented one way, it does have issues. We could either walk away from the sale or negotiate a lower price so we can get these items fixed and be on our journey and enjoy it. It does seem like a good unit, it's a solid unit, but it has issues. So if the seller's willing to come down on his price, we can take it to Newmar or take it to a repair facility and have these issues worked on, then we're going to be happy and going to be fine. If not, we have to make the decision if we can accept it or walk away.
So remember, and do never forget.
It's not about the destination. It's all about the journey.
Is jerking when it's coming out. It's jerking off. It's coming in. It's not jerking off. She didn't like that word, so use it. So, but it is a word.
And here is my recap. That's right on me.
Forget to subscribe. Ring the bell.